Okay. Hey, guys, so let's go ahead and move on to the next topic because I think this is really interesting. Let's flip the table a little bit and play a potentially devil's advocate. So, some people say that getting married younger is wasting your 20s. Is that really true? Let's fight against that argument. So, maybe Myra, you can take the first stab at this, and then Jarrah.
Sure. So I don't think it is true if you do find someone, or personally, if I was someone who wanted to get married, I would do it in my 20s.
Mhm.
Only because I feel like the younger you are, the more adaptable you are to different situations. But as you grow older, you're more strong in how you are, which is why, like, our childhood friends, right, end up being our closest friends because we've grown up with them.
Hmm.
And because we're kind of used to them in our life. So if I find someone when I'm 22, they're going to become a part of my life. So by the time I'm 30, they're already a part of my life, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because they've gone through, because in your 20s, you're finding yourself, right? Like, you're finding what you like even in terms of career or in terms of your personality, that's really when you become an adult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So finding somebody, is it necessarily a bad thing to find yourself with a partner versus finding yourself as a single person?
I personally don't think so, if that works for you.
Even in Western culture, people don't necessarily get married young, but they do. Dating is a really big thing here, right? So they do oftentimes have a partner with them that kind of helps shape their 20s. By the time they get married, they might have gone through multiple partners, but through their 20s, they might have had probably a partner with them for a majority of the time that kind of helped shape up their growth.
That's actually really true because so if you do want to get married, I would want to get married to the person that I grew with, instead of like growing with someone and then breaking up and then finding someone, because I feel like you're a different person then, or like you're a more refined version of yourself once you've figured out what you want.
Yes, so I think it depends a lot on the person that we're talking about. So for some people that they're mature enough to really understand what marriage is, I think for them getting married at an early stage is okay, because when you're young and you're like we said that we're finding ourselves. So if you connect with the wrong person and you end up marrying them, and then you kind of drift away from what you wanted to be and what you are because you're married, so that can be harmful to you, because then you're becoming what the other person wanted you to be, not who you wanted you to be. But then again, if you are mature enough and you can actually like Myra said, that you can actually help him and yourself to find each other together. So you're basically not finding yourself, but you're also finding the other guy. So that's helpful. So I think it depends a lot on the person. In terms of wasting your 20s, I don't think that's true, because it's the 20s is just an era you're passing through, right? So you don't want to do it alone. You don't want to do it with someone that you don't like. So as long as you're married to someone you like, it's a good thing. If you're in a relationship, whether or not you're married, so it's not about marriage is itself, but about the partner that you have. So marriage is just something that strengthens the bond, I think, rather than being the core factor for marriage.
That's actually so true. And I also think no matter what decision you make, right, whether you choose to do that in your 20s, it's always going to be a gamble that you have to be willing to take.
Right.
So I guess when you're in your early 20s, the stakes could be higher because you haven't found yourself yet and you don't want to find yourself with the wrong person. So maybe a lot of people that think that they wasted their 20s, they took a gamble and it didn't work out. Gambling's haram. I just mean gambling mentally.
Yeah, makes sense.
Could have a fatwa on that gamble code.
I know, that's what I was like, let me mention. I mean, mentally.
Yeah, makes sense. Hey, Maha, what do you think about this topic? So, are there any repercussions to not getting married early? Is it really a bad thing to get married young if you think you found the right person, or should you always wait? What do you think?
I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily. I feel like when you're younger, I feel like you're going through a lot. Like that age, 21, 22, 23, is that age where you're kind of exploring yourself in a way. You're figuring out yourself more. And if you're not sure what you want at that time, then you can make like a terrible mistake. You can be with someone that you might not want to be with, and you might not be sure because that's what you think you want, but that's not what you actually want. So I feel like I feel like you need to give yourself a little bit more time to grow up a little to be able to say, yeah, this is something that I want. I don't know. There's a stigma in our Pakistani culture where getting married late, it's especially for girls. It's like, it's like a toba, it's like a nana. Like you can't do that. That's bad. It's like for girls when she's hit 22, 23, it's time. Like right now, like for me, I was coming to Pakistan and my mom was like, she started putting in my ear. She's like, like I'm gonna go to Pakistan. I'm getting you engaged. You're getting married. It's your age now. And I'm like what? Like, and I came to Pakistan
That's
and
wild.
Same question. When are you getting married? And like age ho gayi hai tumhari ab kar leni chahiye, And when when girls are growing older, as they grow older, it's like, oh, who's gonna marry you now? You're in your 30s. I know a few ladies who are like a little bit past 30s, mid 30s, and they're not married. And to be honest, like lots of people reject you because of your age in the Pakistani community and the culture of like 30, you're getting old. Like no one really wants to marry you. I guess nowadays it's a little bit different, but like in most of the cases, that's what I've seen. Age is a huge factor.
Or it's almost like if you're a woman in your 30s and you're not married, that means there was something wrong with you. And that's like, I've heard that lots of times. It's like, I wonder what's wrong with her. Or like, she must have a problem.
Like so many people have rejected her. Like there must be a reason. And there is no reason.
Right? No.
It's the mentality they have, and it's so wrong.
And that's more with girls than it is with guys.
But men, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for men in Desi culture, generally speaking, it's still okay to get married in your 30s, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
But for women, it's a big no.